Center of a $10+ billion industry that sells health, beauty, and home care products person to person.
You do have some millionaires.
We do, sure, certainly. And it would surprise you who they are.
We were making more than we'd ever made in about 10 months to a year, and we haven't looked back.
But the millionaires are the exception to the rule.
The system itself is inherently flawed.
I started feeling personally responsible for these other people going into debt.
They used to call it network marketing. The companies prefer to say direct selling, but the term that describes it best is multi-level marketing.
Why is Utah such rich territory for vitamins, essential oils, and skincare? And are the business opportunities worthwhile? Over the next 2 nights, Fox 13's Max Roth will answer those questions. He joins us in studio tonight. Max.
Yeah, Bob and Hope, multi-level marketers employ thousands in Utah, and they count their distributors in the hundreds of thousands. They all market a product and a business opportunity. But look at the language and imagery, and most suggest they've found something that you need, and they want you to join them. It's the arena where the Utah Jazz play and music stars perform. It's also the mecca of multi-level marketing conventions. If it's August, it's USANA, September, DoTERRA, October, Nu Skin, each attracting more than 10,000 visitors to Salt Lake City. The rock stars here are buttoned-up Utah business executives. Like Dave Wentz, CEO of vitamin giant USANA.
We can be proud of our past, but we can also look at now and say, wow.
Outside the arena, many of us see the signs, USANA, Young Living, doTERRA, Nu Skin, Mirinda. We wonder what they are, how they make enough money for the office towers and sponsorships. They are multi-level marketers, MLMs, selling products person to person, though it's hardly a mom-and-pop business in Utah. Case in point, this convention for USANA.
There's over 10,000 people this year. This is one of our biggest years, and they are individual business owners. But really, you know, when you think of USANA, our company here, we have over 1,000 employees right here in Salt Lake.
USANA brought in $890 million last year. Anti-aging products company Nu Skin, with this giant new headquarters in Provo, reported revenue over $2 billion. The industry big enough to exercise clout in Utah politics. U.S. Congressman Jason Chaffetz got his career start at Nu Skin, and now Nu Skin is fueling his aspirations in the U.S. House of Representatives. Chaffetz has a political action committee, or PAC, called BudgetHawks.com. In 2014, BudgetHawks.com spent $121,000 from the fund. Some went to colleagues, a lot to the Republican Party, some to travel and fundraising costs. The 2 biggest donors, Nu Skin and essential oils seller doTERRA.
doTERRA is a special organization.
Utah's big MLMs have been generous to the Republican and Democratic parties. Congresswoman Mia Love endorses doTERRA wholeheartedly.
Everyone in my family loves the oils.
doTERRA, Nu Skin, and USANA are adamant the main focus to them and to their network of distributors is a quality product. An important point because the vast majority of those distributors do not make money. For example, USANA's 2014 numbers show they had 61,400 members in the U.S. They call them associates. Close to 2/3 made no sales commission. About 80 associates made 6 figures. That's just over 1 in 1,000, or 0.13%. Put it another way, if you have a kid playing high school baseball, he has twice the odds to make it to the pros as he does making 6 figures with USANA. Mila Zhang's getting close.
I have never catch a cold like since I take USANA products.
Zhang is a natural saleswoman selling USANA in Alaska. She's recruited more than 100 other members. She's a team leader, getting money from their sales, as does her team leader and her team leader's team leader, up the line. She's what USANA calls a gold director, meaning she's one of the top 1% of USANA distributors. Gold directors average commissions of $66,000 a year.
My future goal is going to be diamonds.
Diamond would mean Mila had 500 distributors working below her and would make about $5,000 a week. But for every Mila Zhang, there are hundreds of distributors earning nothing or next to nothing. If the companies are right, most aren't trying to earn anything. But the question is, how many people come close to losing everything? People like Nicole Lopez.
Guess what? I'm still paying that debt. We're 10 years later, I am still paying it.
And we're going to hear Nicole's story with another MLM tomorrow. And later tonight, you're going to meet the man in charge of the biggest new MLM in Utah. We'll ask you to tell us if he's right about his company. Is it a good multi-level marketer? Straightforward and generous with customers.
I would even be so bold as to say you'll have a difficult time finding DoTERRA advocates that have a negative perception or negative view.
Hope that story is coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, look forward to it. Thanks, Max.
World capital of multi-level marketing. Nu Skin and USANA are traded on the NASDAQ exchange, and each company employs thousands of people.
The new kid on the block of multi-level marketing giants is DoTERRA. Fox 13's Max Roth spent a day at the company's headquarters in Pleasant Grove. Max joins us in studio. Max.
Thanks, Hope and Bob. Some MLMs market complex products with newly invented words. One makes liquiceuticals to help your synergistic renewal process. Well, essential oils market simplicity. They squeeze a plant so hard or steam it so much that oil comes out, and they sell the oil. Simple, yes, but Utah's DoTERRA is now a billion-dollar brand, and they welcomed close to 20,000 members they call wellness advocates to Salt Lake for their convention this fall. They also welcomed Fox 13.
More than 20,000 people watch a modern dance, hear what looks like a church choir, and cheer for corporate executives as if the Rolling Stones just walked on stage. But it's not Mick Jagger, it's Dave Sterling, soft-spoken CEO of a growing essential oils empire.
You need to know we're a very financially conservative company.
The gathering, more revival meeting than sales pitch.
A new essential oil comes to the DoTERRA family, New Zealand Douglas fir.
They cheer for the Douglas fir tree, but they cry for the personal stories. And each plant seems to have one. For wintergreen, it's Nepal and earthquakes.
Why don't we put it out to them, and we'll put out an offer to match, you know, any donations that come that way, and so that's what we did.
The videos show top executives in the action. They make sure they pay the workers, cut out middlemen, create profit sharing, and build schools, even in places where the danger isn't from earthquakes, but from bullets and bandits. Like the Indiana Jones of essential oils, Dave Sterling flew to war-torn Somalia. His holy grail, frankincense, a biblical plant growing from desert cliffs. Sterling says these stories are about quality, oil from the right plants in the right places, and he says that message comes person to person through multi-level marketing.
When you look at DoTERRA and our oils, the differentiator is the quality. It is everything to us.
But like all MLMs Fox 13 has examined, most distributors don't make any money. DoTERRA has over 1 million wellness advocates. They say 158,000 of them got at least one check last year, about 15%. The majority of them make just enough to pay a portion or all of the cost of their DoTERRA oils. Take that all together, it means fewer than 8 in 100 people break even. Want to make a living? The number is about 1 in 200 earning more than a poverty wage for a family of 4. The numbers are similar across major multi-level marketing companies, and they share Sterling's view that most advocates aren't in it for a paycheck.
If you look at most of our people, we're very cognizant that first, about 95% of the people that join DoTERRA have no interest in the business side. They just want the products at wholesale.
Right now, my goal is just to try it out and see if I really like it.
DoTERRA welcomed us to their will call area where advocates were picking up their oils.
It's now my main job. I gave up my wealth management career after 26 years and decided to do doTERRA.
John Taylor hears that and cringes.
In my experience and observations, the luckiest ones who are approached to do multi-level marketings are those who say no.
Taylor is a PhD who's written books about MLMs and says he's examined 600 different MLM compensation plans.
The second most fortunate ones are those that just spend a few $100s and then get out. The ones that are hurt the most are those that spend the most. And that's true in any scam. The more you spend, the more you lose.
Dave Sterling says that's not doTERRA. He says it confidently on camera.
When this story goes out and our viewers hear David Sterling saying, we have satisfied customers, we don't require them to pay too much, their garages are not full of essential oils that they can't sell off, we're not going to get flooded with calls that say, wait a minute, that's not true.
I do not think you'll be flooded with calls.
They were forthright, they were welcoming, and we want to know if Sterling is right. So we want to hear from you. Rather than phone calls, please shoot us an email, or you can hit me up on Facebook and Twitter. I want to hear about your experiences. And tomorrow, we're going to introduce you to a Utah couple who are on their way to making millions with doTERRA. We'll also introduce you to a Utah mom who lost her money and risked her marriage with another company. Hope?
All right, thank you, Max. We look forward to it.
Continuing our investigation into multi-level marketing in Utah. Last night we learned about the big players in the industry. They bring in billions of dollars, but they don't make a lot of people rich.
Tonight, Fox 13's Max Roth introduces us to some of the marketers themselves. Max joins us now in studio. Max.
Yeah, Hope. You know, tonight we are going to meet hard-working Utahns on both sides of the coin. A couple achieving success beyond their dreams, and a woman watching a simple dream slip away. 10 years ago, Nicole Lopez had one child with plans for more. She had a hard-working husband and a nice, modest home they could only afford on 2 incomes.
My whole dream was to be a mom and be able to stay home and take care of my kids.
See Nicole Lopez with her children and you understand her dream. Make good money from home. It's the allure of multi-level marketing, and she tried it after getting a video 10 years ago.
Immediately, I'm drawn to it because it tells you all these promises, yet it still doesn't tell you quite what the product is.
It was Herbalife, a $4.5 billion nutrition company based in Los Angeles.
It's a proven system, and you know, as long as you're willing to work hard and you're willing to do your part, you'll be able to make an income for your family.
Nicole signed up and found herself on conference calls, feeling pressure from her Herbalife leaders, called her upline, telling her to find her own people to lead. She says her supervisors suggested she buy some leads from another company.
It was quite expensive. It was $1,000 for a packet of leads.
So she recruited distributors, 4 of them, but she didn't get a commission check the next month. Why? She asked her leaders. She says they told her she needed to sell $2,000 worth of products a month.
You had to keep buying product, whether or not you sold it or not. And I think that's what a lot of people do, is they invested into product themselves and would pay the $2,000 to get product, hoping they would sell it so they could get commission checks from distributors that were coming in. But then you have a stockpile of products and you're not selling it.
Herbalife provided this statement to Fox 13, saying sales leads have never been sold by Herbalife, and the company makes it clear in all materials that no member is compelled to make any purchases or to incur any expenses that are not right for them as an individual.
Even major corporations, where there's a sales function, you might have a branch manager, a district manager, a regional manager, and a national manager.
John Taylor has a PhD in business psychology, and he says there's a reason most corporations don't sell things the way MLMs do.
You don't have 10 or 15 or 20 levels. There's no need for that. And the only reason that it's done in multi-level marketing is to further enrich those at the top by this exponential expansion that occurs as you move up.
Taylor has dedicated much of his life to fighting MLMs after his own bad experience with Nu Skin, he says, saying he lost thousands of dollars and nearly his marriage.
At the end of a year, basically my wife threatened to leave me. She says, it's Nu Skin or me, take your pick.
And why was that?
Well, because it was affecting all our relationships. I mean, everybody within 3 feet of you is a prospect. And so people were avoiding us.
In a written statement, Nu Skin told Fox 13 their practices don't lead to that kind of pressure, saying in part there's no significant fee required to participate and no product purchases are required to become a distributor. Taylor and Nicole Lopez felt similar pressure, though, with different multi-level marketers.
I felt like I had been doing everything I possibly could to try and stay home with my son, and I was doing everything but that.
She never got to quit her day job. Instead, her family faced $10,000 of credit card debt she'd hidden from her husband in shame.
It was the scariest thing I think I've ever had to do, is sit down and tell him what situation we were in. He was extremely gracious and nice and understanding.
That was 10 years ago.
Guess what? I'm still paying that debt. We're 10 years later, I am still paying it.
Herbalife and Nu Skin have been helpful in answering our questions off camera. Now, both companies say they're meticulous about following high standards, allowing returns, and not forcing people into a financial corner. Now, coming up, we're going to introduce you to a couple of the bright stars of the MLM world. They're well on their way to making millions, but it is not easy. And we're going to ask the obvious question about Utah and multi-level marketing. Is it a Mormon thing? Hope?
All right, look forward to it. Thanks, Max. 13 News in-depth investigation we call the multi-level Mecca. We've been inside the giant conventions and the shiny headquarters of Utah-based multi-level marketers.
We've also heard how failed experiences in multi-level marketing have led some to the edge of broken families and finances. Fox 13's Max Roth joins us in studio with part 4, a story of hard-earned success. Max.
Yeah, thank you, Bob and Hope. You know, the essential oils MLM, DoTERRA, calls their independent distributors wellness advocates, and they have over 1 million worldwide. Some of them have become millionaires in their time with the company. Now, how did they get there? To find out, we met with Spencer and Laura Pettit, a couple who are well on their way.
It took me months before I would even admit to people that I was doing multi-level marketing.
Spencer and Laura Pettit bought doTERRA oils as a favor to a friend, and the oils sat in a closet for weeks.
She starts opening up bottles of oil. She's making cleaners at home. She starts putting them on our baby after he was born. It just dawned on me one day, we're okay with oils. They're not so weird anymore.
Spencer was a marketing director, a business school grad on the ground floor of a good company.
There was no reason for us to walk away, except that we felt a lot more purpose in this. We felt like we actually could make a mark in the world.
That might sound strange. Selling lavender and peppermint oil isn't like building the Taj Mahal.
We get in with somebody now, and they start talking to us about their health, their family, their financial situation, what's going on in their lives. We actually get to lead with our hearts in that situation and provide support.
Spencer and Laura see their business as a helping profession, which may explain not just their success, but the success of multi-level marketing companies in Utah. And it gets to a touchy subject. Is it a Mormon thing? Some of the most positive aspects of life in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints involve strong networks of neighbors opening their doors to each other.
We have a home teaching program, and we every month we're in touch with certain people that we're checking up on, geographically organized and very tightly interwoven.
Utah County is fantastic.
And there's a practical benefit lots of multinationals recognize.
You have the return missionary population that brings back languages from all around the world.
Also, Utah has more stay-at-home moms per capita than any other state, a huge potential workforce. And those dads are often working overtime.
He worked 15, 16, 17 hours a day. He hardly saw our children.
The Pettits got into doTERRA early and never looked back.
We moved really quick at the beginning. We had replaced our income within 6 months. and we were making more than we'd ever made in about 10 months to a year, and we haven't looked back.
Spencer and Laura are Blue Diamond leaders, meaning they made in the neighborhood of $440,000 last year. They say half or more of that, though, goes back into the business.
Really, network marketing requires day in, day out commitment, just like if you had put a shop in on Main Street.
To make their shop work, they work, homeschooling their kids and sometimes living on the road, from Montana to Arizona to Atlanta, helping their team and recruiting more wellness advocates. But they love it, and it's working for them.
We love it.
We love it.
Wouldn't trade. I could not imagine him going back to work where he's gone all day. Because he works from home and we work together and we take care of the kids together, and it's honestly my ideal situation.
And Bob and Hope, you'll remember yesterday when we met the CEO of doTERRA, and I invited people to email us what they think and their experiences with the company. Well, take a look at my email inbox, and you'll know Spencer and Laura have a lot of company. I've gotten more than 70 emails so far, and they keep coming. We've gotten 2 or 3 during this newscast. A lot of people who think doTERRA is doing multi-level marketing right. It is cheap to get involved, and it's easy to get out if you want to, and their advocates believe in the company like it's a higher calling. Still, I hope it was clear in that story that it is not easy. Spencer and Laura work hard. They travel a lot for work, and they're natural salespeople. Bob?
All really salient points through all of this, Max. Now those folks who have been watching these reports and are still determined to find a good multi-level marketing company, how do they go about doing that? How do you find a good MLM business?
Well, you know, I don't want to define what that is necessarily, except we did mention those 2 things. Is it inexpensive to get in, and is it easy to get out? Make sure you read what you sign in this situation, because you're not joining a club, you're becoming a business, essentially, and you want to know what that business is and what the contract is that you're signing. And you can go to our website. We actually have on the Seen on TV link on the website, fox13now.com, a list of links you can go to get advice from the government, from the Direct Selling Association, the multi-level marketers themselves, from John Taylor, who you saw in those stories, and you can look at these companies we profiled.
All right. Max, thank you so much.